of Canadian Club 1858, which is a different version of Canadian Club.
What was it? Wait, hold on. Because I'm not knowledgeable about this. What's Canadian Club?
It's like a cheap whiskey
Whiskey.
brand.
Oh, okay.
So anyway, this one though, when I tried it, it had some of that that normal whiskey burn, like a Scotch almost. But I don't know if I don't know much whiskeys, so I don't know if that's like completely normal for a whiskey. I
Uh-huh.
have tried a one singular bourbon which had a little bit of bite, but this one had definitely more bite than that, but less bite, a lot less bite than a Scotch. Scotch definitely like, whew, it's like breathing in a freaking, like a bag of solid methanol. Pretty
Yeah, I
crazy.
can imagine.
A bag of solid methanol?
Okay, that's an exaggeration, but when you drink a whiskey, it it shoots up. It can go in a number of different ways depending on which whiskey it is. Some of them they shoot up into your head with like a heat and then into your like sinuses. And some of them you could feel it like all throughout your throat when you drink it,
That
just
doesn't
like
sound
a
great.
whoosh kind of little bit kind of like a burn. But it's not like a hot burn like eating spice, but it's definitely you almost feel like you should be sweating when you drink it because it does make you
Huh.
warm, like up in the head and stuff like that. It's very odd. But like definitely the you remember that guy on Star Trek was like he's from the past, not from the past, sorry. He's from a
Oh yeah. The
primitive
guy is like,
settlement.
it's got no
No
bites,
bites.
and then he
Right.
tries the Klingon wine, and it goes.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, that is happening to me right now. Like I know bites now and I can appreciate it. And the rye whiskey, even though it doesn't have bites, it has like 0 bites compared to all the other whiskeys and bourbons I've tried, which is like 3. But I still like
Yeah,
it.
one of them is Fireball, which has so much cinnamon it doesn't even need alcohol to have bite.
I think it still has kind of a bite, yeah.
No, it does. It does have bite, but I mean, like, it has like so much cinnamon. It's like
Well, actually,
surprisingly stuff. Even without alcohol, it would have.
actually, I think I've tried like maybe like 12 whiskeys because we had that taster, which is like filled with like 12 1 ounce glass bottles of different whiskeys from Scotland.
Taste of Scotland.
Yeah, man, that one was pretty crazy. Those are really strong. Like you put that, you could even put that in eggnog and it'll come through. Like wow, nothing will keep that down. Woo, that's good stuff.
Hmm.
Whoa, hey, whoa. What did she say? Can we get
I'm
a
sorry,
quick
Phoenix Wright.
rundown?
I'm sorry for what my sister said.
Oh, thank God. Oh,
Drastic crime requires drastic measures. That's just the way it is.
thank God they
We did what we had to.
They
Did what
flashback.
we had to in order for
Yeah.
him to get the verdict he deserved.
I didn't know. I never knew that the SL9 incident was just another name for Joe Dark killing. Sounds so peppy.
sounds
That
like
Joe
everyone
Dark
heard
Magic.
about these killings, but me.
Sorry, what, Ethan?
It's Joe Dark Magic, Jonah.
Yeah, Joe Dark Magic,
Oh,
son of Jim. Or
yeah, I
maybe
know. It's almost Jim.
the Joe Dark Killer killings.
Mm.
Lana wanted Dark convicted so badly. That's why she used me. That's why she used what happened to me.
What do you mean? What happened to you?
It's all there in the file. Joe Dark's last victim was prosecutor Neil Marshall. He has a cowboy hat.
Yeah, he's remember the Joe Marshalls or whatever the other Marshall guy, the cowboy guy, his brother.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he probably talked more normally than the other Marshall.
And he was unparalleled with a blade.
Unparalleled. In a society of guns.
Yeah, he was a smash sword fighter character.
He was a samurai in the modern age.
He left behind an incriminating piece of evidence.
But what did you have to do with those killings, Emma?
On the night prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered, Joe Dark tried to kill me. Wow.
What?
harsh.
He tried to kill you?
Officer Marshall's brother, Neil, was only trying to save me.
So that means you...
Yes. I was a witness in the Joe Dark trial.
I didn't see that one coming.
It happened 2 years ago. It was right about this time of the year 2. There was a terrible thunderstorm that day, unusual for the season. I was alone in my sister's office. We were planning to eat dinner together once she finished her work. Then suddenly, this terrifying man came bursting into the office. Joe Dark.
Joe Dark.
It seemed he was running from someone. He pulled out a knife and screamed at me. What? I didn't know what was going on. Just then, Prosecutor Marshall showed up.
Jake Marshall's brother.
Phoenix, shut the fuck up.
I'm talking to myself in my head.
I'm trying to explain things here and you're just interrupting. Joe Dark tried to take me hostage, but before he could, Mr. Marshall tackled him. Then, what happened?
What happened?
I'll never forget it. Lightning struck and the lights went out suddenly. A bolt of lightning flashed outside of the window, lighting up the office for an instant. What I saw then burned a permanent picture in my mind. I can still see it now.
Permanent picture? He's just repeating things now.
Yeah, I'm like, shut the fuck up, Phoenix. I don't remember the moment when Dark stabbed Mr. Marshall.
So you weren't able to testify about that?
No, I was only asked about when I was attacked. That must be why why she made up the crime. Wow, was a mouthful.
Made it up? You mean provided bogus evidence?
The prosecutor's office wanted that guilty verdict so badly. Lana forged the evidence and Mr. Edgeworth used it.
Edgeworth?
Yes, but I'm sure he didn't know anything about it. He couldn't have known he was being given false evidence. Yeah, with the shock with his face. Even so, that's when it all started. The rumors about Mr. Edgeworth, all my fault. I could have just testified properly, none of this would have happened.
So it's true, even though he may not have known it. Edgeworth really was involved in falsifying evidence.
After that case ended, Lana was never the same. She became cold like she is today.
How was
Not
Edgeworth
being able
involved?
to face up to what you did, especially
Uh,
to Emma. Huh?
I said, how
shoot.
was Edgeworth involved?
He was given the trial after Neil Marshall's death, so he
Right.
was the prosecutor for Joe Joe Dark.
He was
Af-
given false evidence, but he didn't realize. He just went on it anyways. Though.
Right. So Joe Dark killed the other person in front of Emma. Okay.
Yeah. Somehow, even though he was unparalleled with a blade.
What did you see in the instant the crime occurred?
Dark knocked down Mr. Marshall and raised his knife.
Neil Marshall was stabbed right in front of this poor girl.
I don't remember what happened after that. Apparently, I passed out.
More of this shit again.
Wow. I think anybody would pass out after that, to be honest. When I came to, Lana was cradling me in her arms.
Poor Emma. You've been through so much.
I couldn't bring myself to testify about that instant. I tried, but the words just wouldn't come out. I drew a picture, but it wasn't good. It wasn't any good.
2 years ago, you must have been 14. That's understandable. Says me, who got a kid to testify when he was like 10.
That's true. Once it was all over, I made up my mind. I decided that when I grew up, I'd become a scientific investigator. I want to be able to fight crime with my testimonies and find the evidence to make an airtight case. That way Lana would never have to forge any.
I see. I think I'm finally starting to understand what makes Emma tick.
Are you sure?
No. But there's still something that bothers me about that crime. There's something that's puzzling me, Emma. You never did tell me what the evidence was, or what happened. You said you were in Lana's office at that time, right?
That's right.
Why then would a serial killer come running in there? Not only that, but he was being chased by a prosecutor?
Oh, there's no mystery there. Joe Dark had been taken in for questioning that day. Taken in for
Taken in for questioning? You mean by the police?
Of course. This happened at the police department. He tried to run away halfway through the interview and fled into my sister's office.
But why did he run all the way over to your sister's office?
Because the detective offices and the questioning room are right across from the elevator.
What? Yeah, across from the elevator?
That's a good question.
But then again, you would want to take the stairs. Lana was a chief prosecutor, wasn't she?
No, silly, didn't I tell you? 2 years ago, Lana was a detective. She was the best in the entire force.
What? That's news to me.
After the Joe Dark case, she was transferred to the prosecutor's office and made chief prosecutor.
Lana used to be a detective?
That's odd.
Yeah.
I'd better have another talk with her.
How can a detective become a prosecutor without a badge?
Well, a prosecutor is like, yeah, a completely different thing than a detective.
Yeah, but like you, yeah, it is completely. Lana,
Mr. Wright, it seems I keep causing you trouble.
Yes. Period. Falsifying evidence. I didn't think you were the type. Oh, she's giving us the look.
Criminals don't mind playing foul. Why should we?
Because that's what makes them criminals.
Lana, if you're wrong, an innocent person might be found guilty.
Believe me, I understand the risks.
Ay, ay, ay. Says you who frickin' leads, or no, what's it called? Is Edgeworth's manager, and so far he's almost put like 4 people behind bars. Emma
Yep.
told me about you.
Yep.
Yeah, also, what about Von Karma?
Oh,
Well, Von Karma's like separate, I think, from her. Well, I mean, yeah, she may be his like boss, but she's not like as connected to Karma as she is Edgeworth.
yeah.
About how you were a detective 2 years ago, and how the SL-9 incident was the reason for your transfer to the prosecutor's office.
That's right.
Could you fill me in on the details, especially about the unusual change of jobs?
I suppose you have a right to know, Mr. Wright.
Damn hell right, I'm right.
Wright is my middle name. I mean,
Let's see. Phoenix right.
spelled 2 different ways. A lot of revelations were uncovered at the trial today, not the least of which was the fact that this case is largely connected to another one 2 years ago.
Evidence from that case was stolen as well, though I expected as much. I know how obsessive Officer Marshall can be.
The trial, it really wasn't fair, was it? I believed in you, Lana. I believe that no matter what happened, you always stick to the truth.
It couldn't be helped, Emma. At that trial 2 years ago, I sold my soul.
Well, all drama aside, the fact of the matter is, at 5:15, there was no murder at the police department.
Tell me it's not true, Lana, what the witness, Miss Starr, said. About you stabbing Mr. Goodman with a knife. Lana, I don't understand. Why won't you tell us?
Emma, this doesn't involve just me.
I don't think I've ever seen Lana look so phased before.
It's true I was a member of the police force 2 years ago.
She was amazing. They still talk about all the cases she and Chief Grant cracked together.
Chief Gant?
He was the deputy chief of police back then, but he still worked the crime scenes. Damon Gant. He was everything I aspired to be.
They were the best team ever. They solved crimes before the reports could even be filed.
Yes, I'm sure they solved crimes before evidence could even be found. Emma really idolizes her big sister. But now you're chief prosecutor. What happened?
I always planned on becoming a prosecutor. The reason I became a detective was
Gain experience investigating crime scenes so you could use that experience in court, right? Oh, right. She does have a lawyer's badge. Oh, she met Mia.
Gant's help in the SL-9 case was crucial to its resolution. After that, he became chief of police and arranged my transfer to the prosecutor's office.
Maybe I should ask more about this investigation from 2 years ago.
2 years ago, I was second in command of the detectives investigating Dark.
Second in command, that means the investigation lead was Damon Gant, right?
Yes, Deputy Chief Gant and I shared the same office and the same investigations.
They even had the same office?
We led a team of the best detectives on the force. Detective Goodman, whose case it was, Jake Marshall, and Angel Starr. It was the first time Marshall worked with his brother. He was quite gung-ho. Without a doubt, Joe Dark was the serial killer. We asked him to come in for questioning. We were desperate for evidence. That was when his final murder took place.
When he tried to murder Emma.
Prosecutor Marshall was trying to save me from Dark.
You see, the first person who happened upon the scene of the crime was me.
Now you tell us.
Damon Gant and Neil Marshall were the ones questioning Dark that day. The investigation was in its final stages and Dark must have suddenly panicked. So he waited until Gant and Marshall let their guards down, then fled the room. From there, he ran straight to the office shared by Deputy Chief Gant and myself.
That's where he found me.
So you were the first person to run into the scene, huh?
It appears so. I was filing some papers while Gant and Marshall were questioning Dark. When I returned to my office, I saw 3 bodies on the floor and smelled blood.
3 bodies? Prosecutor Marshall, the victim, Emma, who had passed out.
And the suspect, Joe Dark. During the struggle, it seems Mr. Marshall struck a final blow before he died. Joe Dark had incurred a minor concussion and lay unconscious.
Let me guess, he didn't remember anything. What did you do?
He's suffering from um, brain damage and cannot have cannot be persecuted.
To be honest, I panicked. I picked up Emma, carried her out of the room, and just held her.
Can't blame her. After all, her sister must have gone through. After all, her sister must have gone through.
After that, I placed Dark under immediate arrest.
Let me get this straight. You were all involved in the SL-9 incident.
That's right. Quite a coincidence.
I don't buy it. Or I don't buy it.
What are you saying?
There's no way everyone involved in this trial was also involved in that incident. just by chance.
That was solved 2 years ago.
At least one person went to extremes because they didn't believe it was truly solved.
Officer Marshall, yes, his actions came as a surprise to me as well.
Not just that, but he had help.
Ever since his brother died, he's changed completely.
I guess he wasn't convinced with the ruling against Joe Dark.
He developed an alcoholism problem. Life doesn't end with the closing of a case.
That fit in with that sentence way too much.
Everyone has to live the rest of their lives with their memories.
Like he just drank till he was drunk.
That case just might not be over yet. Emma was assaulted by Dark at the police department, right?
Yes, in the office that Damon Gant and I shared. The office that Mr. Gant now occupies by himself, the chief's office.
Maybe we should have a look at the chief's office, the site of the SL-9 murder.
You know what's weird?
Hmm?
This drink, rye and mineral water, is oddly sobering. Like I can feel myself getting drunk, but it's not a. It's like, it's just, I don't know. It's like it makes me feel like I'm not getting.
You're making me want to grab something myself. Just wait.
Sorry. Seth, do you drink much? I forget.
Only on occasions.
On occasion. Oh, did I tell you guys about the peanut butter whiskey I saw in the store? I think I might have.
What the fuck?
Yeah, it's called like it's called like oh, what was it called? It's like dog peanut butter whiskey or something like that.
Well, like, oh shit.
Yellow dog? No. Sheepdog. There it is. Sheepdog peanut butter whiskey. Man, I thought about just like buying some of this, even though it might be terrible, and just like keeping it so that if anybody ever comes over, you know, I could just like have a collection of terrible whiskeys and other, you know, terrible kind of, you know, like wacky liquors and stuff, and be like, hey man, let's try out, let's have a couple of drinks and try them out. Because to me, tasting the new and strange is very, I don't know, I like it. It's interesting to taste new and strange things. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I might just start collecting terrible whiskey.
This one has his piss in it.
Delicious.
Delicious. Mr. Detective Gumshoe.
Yes, I can detect that the person this came from had diabetes. It has a slight sweetness.
Wow.
Indicating his inability to process sugars properly. Mm.
All right.
Did you get something?
Yeah, I did.
What'd you get?
I need to finish this frickin' what's it called? Vegetable juice stuff I have.
Oh, you got that Mott's Clamato.
No, not Mott's Clamato. I just got like a generic brand one.
Oh yeah.
V8?
No, not V8. Just like the generic, literal like the grocery
Oh,
store.
okay.
brand.
Hey, you know our aunt? With the
Really?
orange hair. I don't
Yeah.
want to name drop her right now. Anyways, apparently her favorite drink was like the Mott's Clamato or whatever that stuff is, tomato juice plus
Yeah.
whatever else they put in there. tomato cocktail,
Oh,
and like vodka.
That one is a lot. Maybe that one's thinned out with water or something because this one here that I have is really thick. And I know Mott's Clamato is more
I think
liquidy.
Mott's Clamato is also like that, but she liked
I
the
think it's
salty.
V8 because V8 is pretty thin.
Right.
Mott's Clamato and V8 are like, yeah, they're both vegetable juice.
Right. So she liked that kind of Mott's Clamato or V8 and vodka because she liked the saltiness and the acidity. It's weird, isn't it? I guess that's
V8
what,
really isn't bad.
huh?
V8 really isn't bad.
It isn't bad, but sometimes I find it difficult to drink.
I don't like tomato juice. I'm not a
Howdy,
big fan.
Bambina.
It would go good with a burger.
Sorry, what?
Something like a Bloody Mary or like Clamato with alcohol in it.
Bloody
Really
Mary,
good with a
just
burger.
vodka and that stuff.
Yeah,
I'm just
something like
not.
that.
I'm just not into tomato juice. I'm not into tomatoes in general. That's why.
Oh man.
Howdy, Bambina.
You're not into tomatoes?
I'll still eat them. Yeah,
Next
I'll
thing
still
you're
eat
gonna
them.
tell us is that you're not into garlic, onions, mustard, or.
I'm not into mustard.
Okay, that's okay. That's forgivable.
Tomato. I don't like. Like I'll use tomato as a cooking ingredient, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like I'm gonna grab a tomato and just eat. I don't
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
I wouldn't just grab a tomato and munch it myself. I don't like
Yeah.
cherry tomatoes or anything like that.
Howdy, Bambina. I'm just
Oh.
enjoying myself a cool, crisp Canadian rye.
I'm just enjoying
Does
myself.
Americans even like any of our alcohol? I think most Americans would prefer their own alcohol. Like, I don't know, some really
Tennessee
shitty Bud
corn
Light.
whiskey, otherwise known as bourbon.
Or aviation gin.
Aviation gin. What's that?
It's by it's a gin owned by, I think it's owned by Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan Reynolds.
What?
The actor? That's
Yeah.
weird.
Yeah.
I don't trust brands owned by actors, you see?
Hilarious.
They're too busy acting. They're not busy
I
creating the thing.
love the commercials that he makes. To be fair, he didn't own aviation gin before.
So he just owns it, but he doesn't run it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Like he also bought a mobile carrier in the States called Mint.
That's cool.
Yeah. And he's trying to get Mint up in Canada as much as
Why?
possible now.
Why is he?
He loves
I never
making
thought that
commercials for some reason.
I don't know. He's making business for himself, I guess.
Yeah.
Never thought things would turn out this way when I woke up this morning.
Fuck. Did you just wake up on the street?
Cue Sarah, you never know where life's lead ya, eh, Bambina?
Is it really cute, Sarah?
Oh, it's probably a proper Spanish sort of pronunciation, but
I should have known my luck had run out when old Billy dried up this morning.
Wait, Billy? Emma and I had the same thought.
be his pet cactus.
Cactus don't need. Well, yes, they do need water, but they don't need that much water.
They can usually literally like survive off moist air.
Yeah. It's so true.
Hey, where are you headed? No, literally, we have cactus in our house. We
Just
haven't
over
watered
to
it
the
in years.
prosecutor's
It's fine.
office for a little interrogation.
Sorry, what, Jonah?
I said we have a cactus in our house in Vancouver. We haven't watered it for years. It's fine.
Yeah, they're
Actually,
like.
wait, maybe
they're-
maybe it does. Maybe it does get watered like very little by our mom sometimes when I'm not looking or something like that. But also it's near the sink, so maybe it just gets splashed every once in a while or something. I don't know.
It's like aloe, aloe or aloe
Hello?
flower. Yeah,
You mean
aloe.
aloe vera?
Yeah, aloe vera.
What do those
Aloe.
not need to be watered?
Yeah, they don't need to be watered that much.
Yeah.
Alright.
It's a voluntary appearance, but we all know I won't be coming back. Sorry, but you can't go in the evidence room today, partner.
But Mr. Marshall, why did you do it?
Why do prospectors head west? If ever there was a case, I needed to know the truth about it. That it was that one.
Before you turn yourself in, Mr. Marshall, would you mind telling us exactly what happened?
Looks like I won't be getting a steak lunch today.
What the
8
fuck?
a.m.
What?
He's like, oh yeah, I just woke up in the morning. I guess I'm not going to get a steak lunch. What do you want?
Who gets steak for lunch?
Something was fishy
Lots of
about that
people
trial
steak
from
for
the
lunch.
beginning.
Yeah, to be fair, a lot of people actually eat steak for lunch.
Yeah, you just don't eat a huge steak.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
yeah,
why there's
I mean, like a
the
steak sandwich or something, but like, I mean,
no.
like a big
That's the
slab
main
of
reason why there's a
Wait,
14-ounce steak and the
You can get steak for breakfast.
yeah, that's the
I
12
mean,
ounce steak.
Yeah, just go to IHOP or Denny's even, and you can get a steak and eggs breakfast.
Surf and turf too.
Yep, very
okay.
true. Very
Or
true.
surf and turf dinner.
Surf and turf is usually
Steak
breakfast.
is usually a dinner thing, but like it's not unheard of to get every time.
Man, a little bit of steak and eggs. Just rub the golden yolk all over that shit. Man,
How about this?
Oh.
When I visit home, we can go to the IHOP near the you know, the one near the Michaels or the one near the A&W.
yeah.
We'll go there, and you
That'll
can get the
serve
steak. I
me
tried it
just
there.
fine.
It was really good. At least when I went there a long time ago.
IHOP is
that
usually
IHOP
good.
great. Yeah.
Hmm?
It wasn't just me either. All the detectives thought so.
Yeah, IHOP is usually great.
What do you mean fishy?
Oh, you know what's better than Cora? Oh, sorry, IHOP?
IHOP?
Cora. Cora is amazing.
Oh yeah, Cora is good, but I don't think it has the same kind of like steak and eggs kind of breakfast. I've been to Cora.
No, but I
It's
feel
more
like
kind of like desserty kind of breakfast, but it still has like regular like kind of.
no, they have all like the breakfast stuff. I don't think they have a lot of steaks, but
They more specialize in like waffle stacks with like strawberries and stuff. Or,
yeah,
like,
that's true.
pancakes
I
and
guess it's
stuff
up for
like
you
that.
want. I
They
just
do
find
have-
their stuff is a bit higher
They
quality.
do have like regular breakfasts, but I don't know. IHOP seems to do more of that. I think I'm not sure. Cora is great though. Cora is very. You should
Yeah,
try
yeah.
it.
It's they make a little fruit art on your plate.
Yeah.
Some of the
Yeah.
facts reported were inconsistent with the evidence we found. For example, the murder weapon.
The murder weapon? You mean that switchblade knife with the broken tip?
That was Joe Doc's after all, right? But in the initial autopsy report, a question was raised. The blade of the knife was not a perfect match with the wound the victim sustained.
What does that mean?
It means there's a good chance that knife was not the murder weapon.
Just anime noise.
However, in the report that was finally submitted, that possibility had been erased.
Could the facts have been concealed with forged evidence?
That case left behind scars on all of us.
The scars that the SL-9 incident left behind.
I got the looks, but he got the brains. He was one of the best prosecutors around.
No.
I had just made detective when it went down. It was our first case together. He was 27 at the time. He was awarded the highest honor that very day.
The highest honor? You mean
The king of prosecutors.
he was a prosecutor? I knew it. I thought his brother was another detective. Okay then.
What are you looking at me like that for? That's an honor for a prosecutor.
Mr. Marshall must have really been close with his brother.
That's right. It was the day of the evidence transferal.
Interesting.
It was drizzling that morning, and by nightfall there was thunder. It can't believe 2 years have gone by already.
Is this the first time we've seen him take his hat off?
I
Okay.
tried to steal the evidence so the case wouldn't die.
Apparently someone tried to stop you. Oh, okay.
So it's the third time he took his hat off. Wow.
Detective Goodman was murdered, and the evidence locker was empty.
There was something going on behind the scenes in that case. We all knew that later. Every detective involved in that investigation, save one, was taken care of. Miss Starr was fired, and I was demoted and boxed away in a tiny room.
What about Detective Goodman?
If they did something to him too, the commissioners would get suspicious. No, they were careful enough not to be too obvious. Was that the only case that Marshall worked on? First and last? As a detective. Oh, okay. He said, all right, it said he just made detective, but not, it wasn't his first case.
As like, yeah, just a police officer or something. I don't know about any police shit. Sheriff.
Don't get upset, Bambina. I mean Damon Gant and Lana Sky.
Up until now.
The investigation lead, Damon Gant, and his second in command, Lana Sky. There wasn't a person on the force who hadn't heard of that duo. That case was the biggest step in both of their careers.
After the case, Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office, right?
Yeah, Damon Gant, the new chief of police, arranged for that to happen. She's never been the same since she left. Everyone who knew her said so. Chief Prosecutor Sky was totally different when she was a detective.
Now that he mentions it, Emma said something like that too.
Tell me, what happened to my sister?
Sorry, Bambina, but her secret is too well guarded. I never found out.
Not a secret. It all started 2 years ago.
Every time I take a drink, I'm pouring one out for my brother. So there you have it.
Every time.
It's just
Every-
like pools on the ground around the office.
Every time Ethan makes an extra comment, it fits well into what he actually says.
That's my story. Did you enjoy it, partner?
It was certainly enlightening.
There's one thing for sure I found out in court today. That boy Edgeworth isn't my enemy.
That boy.
He was the one who used falsified evidence to get a guilty verdict. But someone else was the one who gave him that evidence and planned everything.
Damon Gant.
That someone is Damon Gant. Don't believe me? Well, I don't blame you. I won't even be a patrolman after today. Too bad I won't be around to work with you. When you become a real scientific investigator. Adios, Bambina.
Damn, that's
It
actually
literally
sad.
like fades with the watermark in the sky.
Yeah, damn, that's actually.
Allow me to just ride off into the sunset to the prosecutor's office.
That would be so fucked up if there was blood on there.
I was hoping. I was really hoping. Oh, there's not.
He carries a baton.
Yeah, you gotta beat bad guys up, right?
Yeah. Yes, you do.
I mean, there's a reason why all the detectives
There's a
are
reason why they
really
call it
buff,
the Force, sort of thing like that.
huh?
I said there's a reason why they call it the Force, right, boys?
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah. Let's
They don't
show them
call
why
it
they call
the
us the
Spotlight.
Force.
Carrying actual glow in the dark batons. It's like, hey, you.
Imagine that, seeing like a couple batons just glowing at night and falling. You're like, hey, dude, get down on the ground.
They might just do that for intimidation reasons. That'd be cool.
They use
That would be
jellyfish.
cool.
They use like jellyfish or scorpion incandescent lighting grading lighting, glow in the dark.
Yeah.
Bioorganic, like what's it called? Bioluminescence?
Yeah, bioluminescent. That's the word. And then when they're running, it glows.
Jeez. This place is always pretty empty, but today it's deserted.
I mean, that must mean everyone's busy solving crimes.
Chief
That
Gant.
would be Seth.
Seth.
Oh
He
shit.
hasn't showed up in like years.
Seth or Gant?
Seth is Seth.
Yeah, I'm here. Oh, if you're sorry, that's awesome. I didn't see his name.
You're done.
Oh, if you're looking for the others, they're all in the conference room.
Thanks. Wow, he actually talked to us.
Oh, no, wait, hold on. That's the chief,
Oh,
not
that's the
Gant.
chief.
That's the guy in the
Oh.
back there who's bald.
With the chief
Oh.
prosecutor saying what she did. Decision
I'm the
about what
chief
to do.
prosecutor.
Oh, sorry, no, this is someone else.
the fuck out.
Fair enough.
That's my line. About my search with, not to mention our statement to the media and trials tomorrow. There's more chaos going on than Thanksgiving and Christmas put together.
I think festive is the word usually used for those.
The fuck does that mean?
It means happy, but you wouldn't know anything about that.
Not since
So
my wife left me.
Oh, oh man, that's stabbing him.
Like super boomer as fuck to say.
Sir, we'd like to have a look around Chief Gant's office.
This guy's like, yeah, sure, why not? Just fucking go and poke around his office.
Really? You mean it's okay for us to be there? I mean, we aren't police officers or anything.
Don't tell her that. Emma, shut your big mouth.
It's like, hey, you're right. You can't go in there. It's off limits.
Now I see. Oh,
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go.
we just decided to go there anyways. What the fuck?
Fuck?
This man has an organ in his fucking room.
Dude, this guy is like, you're evil.
He's
Oh
like
my
literally
god.
like, and look at the floor. It's a mirror shine.
I mean, his name is really
He
a
has-
play on Giant Demon.
He has stained glass windows.
He's going for the church theme here. It's hiding the
Yeah.
the
And
devil
look, he's
you
not-
know. You know,
Okay,
the last
look,
person you
Whoa,
expect.
whoa. He's got stained glass windows, arched, painted roofs, an organ. This is like a church in here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whoa, where am I?
The chief's all silly.
Wait, I thought the guy said you couldn't go in here.
Apparently
And
we
decided
can.
to anyway or something.
At least that's what it said on the door.
Check out that pipe organ. That's real, isn't it?
I used to take organ lesson. What the fuck?
What the fuck?
They
Why
used
did-
to...
Why did the chief let you in here? I thought he said he wasn't gonna let you in here.
He didn't, but he doesn't have. He has no say to the chief officer.
Don't press it. Organs are hugely loud, you lady.
Never could remember where C was.
Emma, there's like 6 of them on the keyboard.
He has
There
a
we
suit
go.
of armor. This place
He
is
does?
huge.
Oh god, he's gonna put it on and boss fight us in the middle of court.
Seth is gonna murder us.
Oh, it's you two.
Chief Gant!
Don't wear it out, bitches.
He put that paper he was reading in his desk.
So, righto. How have you been swimming lately?
No, I haven't. I've been kind of busy lately.
I can appreciate that. I had my hands full too, with a Mr. Marshall misconduct. And not as proactive or provocative statement. Maybe.
Provocative statement. Oh, you mean about the forged evidence on your case?
2 years ago have passed since that incident. My, how time flies.
See that big picture on the wall over there?
No, that's.
That's right, that's him.
Yes.
It's broken there too.
Hey, the vase.
You're right. It is the vase.
Hey, it has a sword.
You're right.
I think that's a lance.
Oh, that's possible.
So there's a knife in Lana's hand, and then there's a sword on there that you're right. I don't think it's on there right now.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something up with that. So this is my well. I don't want to read it anyway.
Who you?
Oh, Seth, we can't. I can't hear you if you're talking.
I'm
No,
not
Something's not
talking.
right with this picture. A can't quite seem to put my finger on it, though. Can't team picture it.
Oh, it's the suit of armor.
The
A
suit of
suit of
armor
armor?
also has a sword, or
No,
a
that one is a spear. That one's a spear.
miniature lance
It's a spear.
spear.
Oh shit. Anyways, I like to reminisce into all the days but there are matters that needs my attention.
And the striation of this man's graying hair is
I'm
freaking.
going to lock up here, so let's go out together. That case that case has long since been over. There's no need to investigate it anymore.
All the same, we'd still like to have a look around.
Perhaps you didn't hear me.
Uh-oh.
I said there's no need to investigate it anymore. Have you hear the organ start playing? Now hurry and get out. I have a meeting with a friend.
Called Justice. A meeting with a friend called Justice. Looks like we aren't welcome.
It seems that case isn't over with yet after all.
What do you mean?
Chief Gant denied a request to search the crime scene. That means there must be a reason he doesn't want us looking around in there. Because it's not like he actually does have meetings or anything.
You mean like a clue?
There's got to be a way we can get inside the chief's office.
Gumshoe!
Hey, pal.
This guy. Detective Gumshoe, aren't you supposed to be in a meeting?
I'm just taking a breather. My feet hurt.
From sitting so long?
Actually, from serving everyone coffee.
Sounds like Detective Gumshoe's still out of the loop.
Say, have either of you seen Mr. Edgeworth?
Edgeworth? No, why do you ask?
He's under fire from both the police department and the prosecutor's office. It's almost like the battles between you two in court.
That sounds serious.
Is it because of what my sister said?
That's basically what it all boils down to. That falsified evidence 2 years ago. Now Mr. Edgeworth has the whole world after his blood.
Damn. Rough.
Yikes.
You know what that's like.
Yep.
But why would Edgeworth be blamed? It's not like he knew the evidence was forged. Lana Sky is the guilty party here, isn't she?
Regardless, a prosecutor is responsible for the evidence they present in court.
I was just thinking that, and then like...
Wow. Oops. Crap.
Not only that, but as you know, there've been a lot of rumors going around about Mr. Edgeworth. His amazing talent as a prosecutor has kept him safe from those who didn't like him. But now, with this,
Are there really so many people who hate him? Well, if you're successful, there's a lot of people.
in our world, only those with talent rise to the top. Mr. Edgeworth not only has that, but he's young. There's no better recipe I know for making enemies.
Hey, Dick, keep up the good work.
Yes, sir.
Let's go out for lunch again sometime. My treat.
Yes, sir.
You gotta take me back to that joint sometime, okay, Dick?
Yes, sir.
What the?
It seems you don't have any problems with enemies.
Yeah, well, I'm careful not to stick out. Anyway, I'm a bit worried about him. Under all this pressure, I'm afraid Mr. Edgeworth just might crack.
Crack?
Actually, I took a look at the file earlier while the coffee was brewing.
He seems genuinely concerned for Edgeworth. What did you find out? Anything?
The only evidence Doc left behind was during his final attack.
His final attack, you mean?
When he killed Prosecutor Marshall, who was trying to protect some girl.
You mean me?
That was Brett, I mean. Oh shit. It seems Detective Gumtree never realized Emma was the girl.
That's when he left the most incriminating evidence of all.
Well, what was it? Yeah.
Oh, let's see. I think it had something to do with the murder weapon. Oh, I forget. Look, it's all written somewhere in here, okay?
His powers of recollection never fail to impress me.
Maybe we should show him the murder weapon. It might jog his memory.
Joe Doc was 42 at the time of the crime. He was just your run-of-the-mill businessman.
A businessman? What made him take to serial killing?
Sorry, that's me.
That's fine. Booty, 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 booty.
One day on his way home from work, he hit someone with his car. An accident, yes, but it transformed him into an animal.
Oh, not impressing. He's just going on a ramble. A jogger came up with the scene and was killed as well. Finally, he turned himself
Finally, he turned himself in.
in.
Seems he was a pretty careless animal. Of course, this is all conjecture. There wasn't a single shred of evidence. So he turned himself in. Yes, but in the middle of his questioning, he fled and murdered the final victim. Prosecutor Marshall.
Doesn't
That
sound
crime
like
was
Gumtree.
witnessed by someone too, but luckily Doc was arrested on the spot. It's a good thing that last witness wasn't killed, eh? That last witness? AKA Emma.
Okay, so Joe Dark accidentally killed someone with his car, and then he
And
killed.
then he went on a literal like GTA, like Ethan. Imagine like if you're playing GTA and then they say like, oh, someone has witnessed your crime or something like that.
So at the scene of the crime where he killed somebody, he also
just, like-
killed a kid and a jogger.
He went on like a killing spree. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is the most uninformative blah 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 blah.
Are you like speedrunning this now?
Some of it.
About this.
Hey, is that?
It has a tag attached to it with the label SL9 Incident on it. I believe this would be the broken murder weapon you were speaking of.
What are you doing with that? Ever since that case was closed, that knife's been locked away in a locker.
I have my source.
The day Detective Goodman was murdered, this suddenly disappeared from the locker. And was found in in Mr. Edgeworth's car muffler.
That's it. Now I remember what that incriminating piece of evidence was. When you showed me that knife, it all came back to me.
Well, what is it, Detective? Quick, before you forget again. Wow.
This knife. It was Joe Dark's, wasn't it?
That's right. We traced it back to the store he bought it at. Plus, it had his fingerprints on it too.
But no one actually witnessed him using it to murder anyone, right?
That's where his luck ran out. When you take a good look at the knife, you'll see it's broken.
You don't have to take a good look to notice that.
Yeah, well, anyway. Take a guess where that broken off tip of the knife was found. That's what did him in.
Where was it?
The victim, Neil Marshall, was carrying it inside his own body. It was found deep inside the stab wound.
Did it match Dark's knife?
You bet, down to the last fiber.
That's pretty conclusive.
Well, there you have it in a nutshell.
Oops.
That's all I know.
Let me ask you one more thing.
What is it? If it's money you need, you should ask Chief Gant.
It's not money, but it does concern the chief. His office is a crime scene, right? It's where prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered.
The chief's out right now, and his office is locked. But we'd like to have a look around if that's okay.
Oh, but he just has
Well-
the keys.
Well, any detective's ID card can unlock the door. All you have
Oh,
to do
wow.
is push it in
Oh.
between the two gaps.
Fucking hell.
What?
Yeah,
Really?
they have this one neat little trick.
But if I let a civilian in there, I'd be charged with breach of trust.
Breach of trust?
Simply put, I'd be canned.
Oh.
Oh.
Sorry, pal. I don't plan on getting fired because of you.
Show it to him, you lady.
How about this ID card? It was
I was
Detective
thinking
Goodman's.
about that. I was
That
just
won't
thinking
work.
about that. Oh, okay. Never mind.
That won't work either. The data was deleted the day he died.
But we know another. We know another. Wait, no, he's not a detective anymore.
Yeah.
No, he still has a detective's card.
Yeah, he would still have a detective's card. Marshall, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Marshall. We know he could do it, and he's getting fired soon anyway.
I wonder if there's anything that that we could show him that would make him change his mind. Wow, that was a mouthful.
What's
So
that?
Joe Dark turned himself in after
Yeah.
killing 3 people.
Somehow, yeah.
Wow, man, he must have gone sicko mode like Officer Meekins.
He's like falling down.
Yeah, it's just like a haze descended over his vision, and then he doesn't remember killing anybody, but he's covered in blood.
I'm just gonna skip this.
You start playing heavy metal. Dun, 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 dun.
Failure.
I wonder if Edgeworth is back yet.
There he is. It looks like he's writing something. What are you doing
Here
here?
is coming at all. He sure was quick to throw that paper on the floor. Tough day in court, huh?
I've had to live the past 2 years with the rumors flying around. What's another allegation to me? Cheer up, Mr. Edgeworth. I'm rooting for you. Great, I have a little
Rooting for
brat
you.
cheering for me.
Rooting for your sister's prosecutor.
Always trying to hide his real feelings.
So what do you want? Unlike some people, I don't have all day. Oh, I
You're
mean,
saying,
technically.
Edgeworth. You're saying I'm lazy? Just because...
What is that?
Sorry.
Is that like a vacuum? A Roomba?
No, it's my hot water.
It's a boiler.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. Oh.
Goddamn pictures of alcohol always be like liquid but brown. And
It's
I'm like,
apple juice.
fucking okay.
You know that brown adds like $10 to the bottle price. You know that, right?
No, I know, but I mean, like when you see a picture of it, it's like, how am I supposed to know if it's good or not? Sort of thing.
People pay good money for that.
Yeah,
Wow.
but still, you get what I mean?
Yeah, I guess that's true. It's an excuse for what I've done. A few years ago, I used false evidence to obtain a guilty verdict. That's what it all breaks down to, and nothing I can erase that fact.
But you didn't know, did you?
I mean,
The evidence was falsified.
the police department and the prosecutor's office share a bond of trust. If that bond is broken, if we stand to lose everything. Well, technically, you don't even need that bond to begin with. Helps. The police department's error is my error. My responsibility as the prosecutor in charge. The fact remains the same no matter what excuses I might have. Mr. Hedgeworth, I take pride in my work. Tell me why. Why has it all come down to this?
Even Edgeworth can't keep this kind of emotion bottled up. Are you up for the trial tomorrow?
First last year's trial and now this. Seems all you do is worry about me.
Well, you know I gotta worry about my emotionally stunted friend.
Is this guy like a freaking? If he had a love interest of any kind, I feel like he'd be a tsundere or some shit. Man, Jesus.
Yeah.
You know, he would be like, how do you romance the woman? What did you even do? And you're like, just be yourself. And he's like, how do you? Okay, well, first of all.
He goes up to her and says, first of all, you dress like a clown. Second of all, would you like to
dress
go
like
out?
a clown.
Huh?
You dress like a clown. Go out with me.
Yeah.
Doesn't know how to class.
Well, remember
be
when he was
classy.
like learning how to do stuff from what's it called?
Gumshoe.
Yeah, from Gumshoe, and he just like yelled out in the middle of the hallway or something.
Hallelujah, pal. Or something like
Yeah.
that, right? What did he yell out?
Something like woohoo or something.
Yeah.
Like, woo.
Woohoo! This is like
Oh yeah, for New Year's.
Gumshoe is just like, all you gotta do is walk up to there and just be yourself, pal. Listen, just like do whatever, to treat her like somebody you know really well, pal. Just go up there and be like, hey, how are you? Like, I saw you across the bar, decided to come over and talk. Nothing wrong with that, right, pal? And he's like, yeah, sure. And it's like, hey, so I saw you clowning around from across the bar. I don't know.
You're a third-rate duelist with a fourth-rate deck.
Yeah.
Oh fucking hell! I can imagine that happening actually.
Yeah.
But Mr. Edgeworth, you can't just walk out on the trial. Tomorrow's the last day. It's too late to change prosecutors. I'll bet that's my superiors banking on it. I never thought that case would come back to haunt me like this. The list of evidence, it seems too short. Most lists run twice as long.
It's only half as long as most lists? That's odd.
After Neil Marshall was murdered, I became prosecutor for that case. May not have been part of the investigation, but I knew what I had to do. Use the evidence I was given to prove the suspect's guilt. That was really the only thing on my mind at the time. We just saw a picture taken around that time.
That picture. Something seems strange about it. Could you tell us again about what happened that day? The day Detective Goodman was murdered. You were participating in a ceremony over at the station, right?
I've never cared for ceremonies, but I had to attend that one. Don't care about Christmas too.
Look at it. It's different. You're right. The sword isn't there. Or the spear or whatever it is.
Was the sword the murder weapon?
I don't think you could take it off of the trophy. It'd be cast part of it. Maybe it's
And
a
how
new
did it come
trophy.
off?
Maybe it's a new trophy.
No way.
Maybe the old one was used as the murder weapon.
That's possible. Because because the gold plating for the signs weren't used to be glued, they used to be screwed, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Because you were awarded this. Those receiving awards can't exactly skip out on the ceremony. I finished up at the office in the morning, then drove over to the police department.
You finished up at the office?
Yes, just odds and ends. Clerical stuff. I didn't plan on returning to the office that day. That is until I was asked to take something back. Take something back? This. Oh yeah, the Chief Gant asked you to hold onto that, didn't he? Turns out that's the murder weapon. It was a piece of evidence in a case that was closed half a year ago. He asked me to bring it back to the prosecutor's office.
That's the story we heard yesterday. So you came back to the prosecutor's office because the chief asked you to?
That's right.
This picture was hanging on the wall in Chief Gant's office.
My prosecutor, Neil Marshall. He had just started making a name for himself. Looks like this was taken when he received the King of Prosecutors trophy. Speaking of that, there's something that bothers me. Yes. The trophy Mr. Marshall is holding is a little different than yours. Yes. You're right. Oh, it is a spear.
Wait, no, that's like executioner's sword.
You're right, that is an executioner's sword.
Oh.
So
No,
here
in
you
that
can
other
see-
close-up that we just saw, it was
yeah,
really
the close-up that
clear.
you can saw, it's like a purposefully ground flat end.
Oh,
And
okay.
usually a sword like this is like the executioner's or beheading kind of sword.
Oh, okay. Interesting. That was what the official prosecutor's trophy looked like until 2 years ago. Oh, this one.
There, yeah. Whoa.
Yeah, you see the end part? It's not just broken.
I thought it was broken though.
That's
Huh.
the executioner sword.
Interesting. Okay.
That might be true. Yeah, I think you.
Because it's broken shield, right? So I would assume it's a broken sword.
Well, you break the shield and then you execute the guy behind it.
That's just
Fair
called
enough.
fucking murder.
There's a story behind its design.
Okay.
Story.
Sounds interesting.
Simple, really. Contradiction. That's what the award means. Award's based on. This award originates from an ancient Chinese tale. In Chinese, the word contradiction is written with 2 characters. First means halberd, and the second means shield. Have you heard of this story?
Me? Oh, sure. Everyone knows that. It's though for Emma's sake. And then
Wow.
she asks her to. She's like, actually, no, I know it. And you're like, okay, then just explain it to me. Just run through one more time.
Very well.
Edgeworth can't detect the lie. It's important.
Long ago in the
Oh,
long ago in the kingdom of Chu, there was an arms merchant. Why do I sound like
Aku?
yeah, Aku.
Long ago,
Yeah, you do it. You do it, sir.
long ago, in the kingdom of Chou, there was an arms merchant. One day, he presented the king with 2 items. The first was a cheese whiz stick, and the other, some pepperonis.
cheese whiz.
The second was a shield he claimed could withstand any weapon.
God damn it, Phoenix. You really
I'm trying to
couldn't
tell
help
a
yourself.
story right.
Oh my fucking god, Phoenix.
Those claims contradict each other. Oh wait,
Shut
I
the-
get it now. Something like that.
Very perceptive, but then again, you've heard this story before, right?
No,
Nah.
Anyway, as you mentioned, the very descriptions of these items discredit them both. When the king pointed this out, the merchant was left speechless. And thus the Chinese word for contradiction was born.
that's the whole story.
Yeah, that's literally it. Oh, I see. So the chipped shield and the broken knife symbolize...
Oh, it is a broken knife.
Precisely. This symbolized the merchant's items. Ancient tale ends with the merchant, a loss for words. But it's in our nature to pursue matters to their conclusion. Even if it results in something as ugly as this. Well, thanks, Mr. Edgeworth. I learned something new today. Yeah, unlike fucking Phoenix. Objecting
is
to
a-
his story.
It is a broken. It is broken. It's not, fucking.
Yeah.
That's
Execution.
funny.
It definitely looks like almost like an executioner sword to me.
Yeah,
I think they chose that on purpose too.
that's so. Then why were you only given a shield?
You'll have to ask Chief Gyat. 2 years ago, he had the halberd part of the award abolished.
Chief Gant. Yeah, there. See, the halberd part of it got removed by him. Probably because he did something with it. I wonder what he was writing here.
Come on, Mr. Wright, let's take a look.
His garbage. Are you crazy? Edward's sitting right there.
Let's distract him. I'll check it out.
Say, Edward, so how's your love life going? Is that Detective Gumshoe out the window there? Oh no, he's falling to the ground.
Hold on. First, let me see what this girl's doing crawling around my feet.
He didn't even look.
Letter of resignation? If you're having trouble reading, I'll read it for you. This is letter of resignation.
Resignation? Edward, you don't mean...
I'm tired, right? Feel as if something inside of me has died. But, Mr. Edgewood, none of it is your fault.
Damn, he is edgy as fuck.
Yeah. I know the path I've walked. You don't need to tell me. The path I've walked hasn't been a just one. What? I feel like that's a typo of grammar there. Hasn't been just one.
Hasn't been like a justice and justice.
Oh, okay.
It hasn't been a just path.
Like justified something or like
Yeah,
judicial,
fair enough.
so I think that's what that means.
I can't forgive myself for what I've done. And no one else should forgive me either. Oh, Edgelord.
Uh-oh, I think he's serious.
Mr. Wright, please, you have to do something.
Letter of resignation. I wonder if I can use it for anything. What?
You're
Yeah.
just like a little magpie, aren't you?
Wow, maybe.
Edward like literally sees you pocket it.
Huh.
Excuse me.
An executioner's sword seems to be about 3 pounds 9 ounces.
I thought they were really heavy.
Oh my god.
That is pretty heavy for a sword, I think.
Oh, that's funny. We're actually going back to this. Would either of you care for a quarter-pound of roast beef? Would
I'd love that. Thank you very much, Angel.
Yeah, I would love that.
Mm.
It's not cooked. It shows red.
Oh, roast beef is supposed to be pink.
Oh, is it?
Roast beef can be pink.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay,
a lot of roast beef is pink. Or even, kind of almost red.
fine. I like it well done nowadays, especially during COVID season. You certainly are the curious soft sort, aren't you? Kind of like the first person who sucked a cat. What the f? I'm not saying that. Still, I never thought you'd go digging up that case from 2 years ago.
Lady, it's called bravery. Thank you very much.
What did you say? I never thought you would what?
Suck a cow's nipple.
What the hell?
You said you were like a soft sword or something like that, and then also
So-
the type to go
yeah.
around doing weird shit.
Everyone in this trial was involved in the SL9 incident. Not only that, but the murder occurred on the very day the evidence from that case was. Due for transfer. Sorry, that broke up one sentence across 2 different frames. This can't all be attributed to mere coincidence.
Sorry, I didn't press it fast enough. Aren't you forgetting something? You know that little scene I happened to witness?
The instant Lana stabbed Detective Goodman with a knife.
No matter how much of the past you dig up, it won't change what I saw. Roast beef is meant to be savored when eaten. Oh, it's true. You're not wrong there. Joe Dark, that's a name I'll not soon forget. trailed him for half a year. Oh, the pressure. Still, I don't think I was ever more alive than I was then. Those days were steamer than a bowl of hot gravy. Poor old Jake Marshall, though, must have been going through hell.
You mean because of his brother's death?
They were close, those two. After Neil died, something took over Jake. He became obsessed. Seeing Jake like that made her all the more desperate.
Her?
Lana Sky. My sister? The best of the best were put on the SL9 case. First, they were led by that legendary duo. Lana and Chief Gant. The legendary pair was the reason we were able to keep up our investigation. That's why we were so shocked over how it turned out.
You mean with the forging of the evidence?
Don't get me wrong, Joe Dark got what he deserved. Still, it was obvious that the evidence produced in court was being manipulated. Items our team never found would suddenly appear while other items were kept secret. But you don't have proof anything illegal was done. No, that's not how that works. I'm proof enough of what happened. After that case, all of us, save Goodman, were relieved of our duties. Most without even as so much as... wow, I can't even read. Most without even as so much as an explanation.
Wow.
Then last guy transferred to the prosecutor's office and became chief prosecutor. Sorry, what?
I said, wow.
Yeah. I always wanted to be a prosecutor. Nothing's quite as simple as it appears. Last guy was merely being used as a pawn. That's my take on the matter. Is being used? Oh, sorry.
She was being used?
Damon Gant, Lana Sky. Wow, there's a lot. Gant led the investigation with Lana second in command. They were the best. They solved all kinds of cases together, didn't they? Damon Gant's magnetism, in particular, was almost unreal.
His magnetism?
By that I mean his ability to attract evidence. Produced the most incredible evidence in the cases he handled.
Incredible, you say. Funny word.
Oh yeah! There were rumors about him even back then. No one dared to confront... What?
That's a funny pun that probably also might have an alternative in Japan as well, because incredible meaning like not credible, sort of thing like that almost, right?
Oh yeah, well, I think that's everywhere in the world.
No, I know, but I mean, it's just funny, like, incredible. Well, I bet it was incredible, huh?
The
I
irony.
take it she's talking about forging evidence.
Back then everyone looked up to Lana. All the detectives wanted to be like her. Really? Oh yes, myself included. I was a fool, really. She ate anything crooked and always watched out for the other detectives. That's why she was so concerned for Jake. Mr. Marshall. When Jake's brother was murdered, she felt as if she had lost her own brother. If it wasn't for her, I don't think Jake would ever have recovered from his shock. That's what makes it all the more infuriating. Miss Star. That's why.
Howdy.
Howdy, partner.
Howdy.
That's why I'll never be able to forgive her. Why did she have to turn so cold after that? That's the reason?
Lana transferred to the prosecutor's office 2 years ago, didn't she?
Yes, thanks to Chief Gant's powerful influence. Chief? That's right. Having solved the SL9 case, his position as the chief was secured. There was only one thing left for him to control. And then no one could stand in his way. Prosecutor's office.
What? You mean that's why Lana was transferred?
If he could control the chief of prosecution, he could control the prosecutor's office. That must have been his goal all along. How could he control Lana? I don't know. But one thing's for sure. Ever since that case ended, she's never been the same. Only logical to conclude there must have been a reason for her change.
At last. I'm finally getting close to the bottom of this ugly mess.
Yeah, it's called Damon Gant.
Thank you, Miss Star. This is a frickin' noir novel.
Yeah, at this point. It takes more than just ingredients to create fine cuisine. Hope you turn out to be a better chef than I've been. I don't know about that, ma'am. Not very bright.
Oh, you're back.
You're still here?
I gotta make 150 copies of these files. Brewing coffee, copying files. I'm turning into a regular DJ.
You're a DJ as well?
Desk jockey. If I'm not mistaken, I think he means desk jockey.
Oh, that DJ.
I gotta admire your persistency, but my answer is still no. I'm not letting you into that chief's office, period. It'd be my neck on the line.
That office is the last crime scene in the SL9 incident. I have to take a look in there.
There's gotta be something we can do to make the detective change his mind. Yeah.
What's this crumpled up piece of paper?
Oh shit, that was fast. He's like, oh.
No way! Mr. Edgeworth can't be serious.
Is he ever not serious?
I can't believe they pushed him this far.
Imagine Gumshoe's like, yeah, he's joking all the time. He's a happy-go-lucky, free-spirited guy. We're just like, what? When?
Miss Edgeworth really feels responsible.
When I first met him, I thought he was as cold as ice, too. But I know different now. He trusted us detectives to provide him with sound evidence. But we betrayed him.
Detective, I feel you.
That's it. I've made up my mind.
But
Here, take my ID card.
We can't do that. If someone found out, after we asked you multiple times anyways.
they wouldn't let you off the hook with another lost item report.
Look at me. It's no secret I'm already out of the loop. After all, I'm friends with Mr. Edgeworth. Depending on how this case turns out, I may already be as good as terminated.
What?
So at least let me do this, for Mr. Edgeworth's sake.
All right, detective. Thank you.
Tucked. Oh, I like that little detail. It says tucked swiftly into pocket.
Here goes, Mr. Wright.
God, this music is awful.
It's oppressive.
It is. We're in. If anyone finds out, so now. Detective Gumshoe is a goner. What the?
If that happens, I'm counting on you to bail me out. Ah!
Never sneak behind a girl. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost.
And he has a handprint
I
on
didn't
his
even
foot.
know you could slap a ghost.
Ah, Detective Gumshoe. What are you doing sneaking up on us like that?
I wasn't sneaking. I was just worried something might go wrong. So I came too.
If you're here, then what's the point in giving us your ID card? Preston rendered unusable in pocket.
Hey, don't do that to my ID card. I hardly ever get a chance to come in here. So I figured I'd have a look around myself. Besides, we're all in this together now.
You really want to get fired, don't you?
Not if we're lucky. Now come on, let's see what we can find out.
I've got a bad feeling about this. We're really going all in now then, I guess.
Yeah, that's true.
This
Come on,
isn't safe,
gang.
isn't it?
Let's split up and investigate the spooky mansion.
Yeah.
Safe. That word is ripe with intrigue.
Okay, if you say so.
Looks like a code needs to be entered.
Yeah. It's funny, I
7-digit
know the
number.
code
I think
already.
I just might know what it is.
Do you know what it is?
I have a hunch.
7 sevens? Oh, I know.
Yeah.
You want to try my birthday. It's...
Enhance.
I have a better idea. Here goes nothing. What's the code? Oh, 7777777.
Oh my god. It's because that's the
Because
one
that's his
code.
number.
The
Yeah.
number that we saw on the other one.
Record
What is
sheet?
it?
Yeah.
Chief Gant's number
Yeah.
for his card.
Bingo. Everyone here has like terrible password keeping practices.
Like Spaceballs all over again. What's your password to your atmosphere?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the dumbest password I've ever heard. Hey, that's the password to my computer or something like that.
Yeah.
His briefcase.
Yeah.
I changed my briefcase and password. What number did you enter?
Whose birthday was that, pal?
How was that a freaking birthday?
7777777. The final ID card number on that record.
What?
The number of the mysterious executive officer who entered the room that day.
Wait. Oh, sorry.
777777777. That ID number?
I think you're 1-7 shy this time. Phoenix counts. Goddamn.
I didn't even count when I was saying it. Listen.
Oh, this can only mean one thing. That's Chief Gant's ID number.
Hey, anyone care to look inside? Yeah, I do care.
Dang.
Is there any money in there? How much does he have stashed away?
That's not in
That's-
question, I'm sure.
It's likely going to be in the bank anyways.
It's a murder weapon or
It's a
something.
knife.
Look, it's a...
The
A
last.
shard from a broken cup.
This somehow looks familiar. Where have I seen this before?
There's something else in here too. Oh.
What was important about this vase again? What's this?
It's-
Looks like a
it's
piece of
the-
leather cloth.
The vase is actually the true murder weapon to the SL9 murder.
Is that a sword?
If you've been following this up to this point, you kind of already realized this. Because
Yeah,
you
I
have to
remember,
reassemble the thing.
This is a handprint. Hey, I saw someone wearing a shirt like that once. You think the chiefs made up the design?
I don't think so.
Oh, well, it was just a thought.
Is that it? This is all that was in the safe?
Apparently so. It's empty now.
A piece of cloth with a handprint on it and a broken shard from a cup.
They look like pieces of evidence.
Yeah, but unless you can prove they have something to do with this case, I'm afraid I can't just let you take them. After all, it's my neck on the line here.
Great, now I have to prove their relevancy to get them. How are these two items relevant to the SL9 incident?
Come on, there's got to be something we can show the detective count. Blah 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 blah
I
blah.
don't know about the cloth, but
Cloth is just a handprint.
maybe it could be something with that handprint. Detective Gumshoe, could you have another look at this jar?
I remember when the three of us put that back together. Those were the days.
Like 2 or 3 days ago.
It was only 2 days ago.
Kind of early to be nostalgic.
Hey, it's never too early to start having a good time, alright?
It's true.
That's right. One of the shards had an SL-9 incident sticker on it.
Doesn't this ring any bells? You know that fragment we just found?
You mean this one that was in the safe?
Yes, that one. That was in the safe.
Like
Huh.
leading him through it like he's
Now
a
that you
kid.
mention it, it's ringing a lot of bells. Let's see if it fits.
Here, let me see.
Go ahead, pal. Show us what a rookie can do.
That's right. Here's some glue.
I can piece this together again. It'll prove Chief Gant was knowingly hiding evidence. Here goes. Should be easy. Yeah.
Right there, yeah.
Did we have to do anything to begin with?
There. It's like a charm. That, of course, means Chief Gant willingly and knowingly hid a piece of this jar in his safe. In other words, he concealed a piece of evidence from the SL9 incident.
Hey guys, get a load of this.
What is it?
It means Chief Gant was hiding a piece of evidence from the SL-9 incident. No, it's different. The piece is different from the others.
Oh, it says Emma. There's a reddish line on it.
Reddish line. That's blood.
I don't get it.
It says Emma.
Why would Chief Gant hide this in his safe?
He's the real murderer.
Hey, look here. It's hard to make out, but there's a dark red stain here. Hmm.
Looks like blood.
This piece the chief has is different, though. Bloodstains on the other. Oh.
Oh,
Other pieces are just spots. But there's a line here.
that is odd. You're right. When you said that, I don't know how you know, but like, if you trace out the dots, you could make M on there.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you can. I'm not sure. But why?
Who knows?
Right with the thing.
Oh, oops. It would be using this.
Hey, I just brought some of that stuff.
Just bought.
Now I can go around detecting blood traces too.
Is that a spray bottle?
That one looks like a hand sanitizer.
Wow, is that a new type? I've never seen that bottle before. Add 3 inches to your base height. Base height?
Base height? Hey, let me see that. New and tall, new and improved growth formula.
You mean this can't detect any blood traces?
Well, not quite the same thing as liminal.
So that's why the lady at the counter had that smirk on her face.
Oh my god.
Man, buy some weird hocus pocus cream.
Wait,
But
what
either-
would the lady think? Because it's like, he's already big.
Well, the thing is that anybody buying something like that, which makes me think it might be like penis enhancement cream or something like that.
What?
Like, come on. Anybody who's buying it, you gotta like think like, heck's going on here with this guy.
Right.
Oh, bear with me for a second.
Either that, it's not okay, Ethan. There's two possibilities. Either A, it's for your penis, or B, it's like hair, or C, maybe it's like making you taller, which I think that's what you thought, but I don't know, right?
That's what it sounds like. Because people don't describe penises in terms of height, they describe them in terms of length.
Maybe, I guess, yeah. Why don't you read the description on it again? It said rub something something? I know, it didn't say rub. It said, oh. Is he a manlet canonically?
I don't know.
I guess it's the son of the police. Oh my god, I hate this.
Oh, I'm back.
Welcome back.
Yeah. It must be when Prosecutor Neil Marshall was murdered. Huh. Oh, look at the size of Gant's desk. Jonah.
Huh? Oh, speaking of that, when we were here earlier,
Oh, it's just you two.
Oh,
to
it's
be
just
fair,
it's a flashback. I wonder what he was reading.
oh sorry, I wonder what he was reading.
This sure looks like a list of evidence.
A list of evidence.
In most cases, the list runs twice as long as this, though.
Hey, look at the case name.
Huh? SL-9 incident. I wonder what this is doing here.
Hold on, detective. What did you just say?
I said, I wonder what.
No, about evidence lists. Normally they're twice as long.
That's right. I guess there wasn't a lot of evidence.
And I just realized I was muted the entire time. Holy fuck.
It would appear so.
I was like speaking, and then I realized that I wasn't getting through. This is so stupid of me. Really? Really? I can't even see the. Fuck. What else did we get? Present.
Detective Gumshoe, I'd like you to have a look at this.
Hey, I know what that is. So you want to take some fingerprints?
That's a great idea, detective.
It was my idea.
All right, go to town. Sheesh.
What are you doing? Why are you sticking out your hand like that?
Go ahead. Take my fingerprints.
It's not your fingerprints we want to take.
Huh?
Come on, this isn't the time for jokes. We're talking about that cloth you found in the safe. Can you take fingerprints from the cloth?
Oh, I knew that. The one with the handprints on it, right? Sheesh, where's your sense of humor?
I'm assuming he kept it because it retained his handprint for an actual evidence.
Where's it from?
SL9, I assume. Okay, Mr. Wright, let's check for the prints. Sprinkle the powder on the cloth. Once they've been absorbed into the prints, blow the rest away. I can't imagine the oil being retained, though. Does oil actually retain that long?
I can't imagine it would like show in the same way on a cloth as it would other things.
Yeah, that too.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's like it just comes out perfectly. Oops. Yeah. I clicked on the wrong thing.
I like how this reminds me of Substance Painter be like.
Yeah, come on, let's
You know
do
the way like
this.
the stamp thing?
Yeah.
It's
You're trying to
exactly like
stamp
this
it.
when you don't have the rotate on. Yeah, it's one giant figure fruit. I gave it my best shot.
That kind of result won't be any good for matching print, will it? But it doesn't look like we'll get oh.
Oh, so you're doing each individual finger.
Yeah, likely. What's the most clearest point? It's this one. The one end of a pinky finger would be the best. Eesh. Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, perfect. I think I remember this fingerprint somewhere.
Yeah, it's called Damon Gant.
Actually, no, I wouldn't be able to recognize it like that exactly. But, oh, it's not him.
Oh.
Who?
Hey.
Emma Sky?
Emma! Emma's the murderer!
Oh my god! She is the murderer.
Oh, Damon is blackmailing Lana with you keeping all these evidences of Emma. To frame her, Emma.
No. How can this be? It's always like this when somebody blacks out every single time. Why is everyone like a secret blackout murderer in this game?
They're not blacking out murder. Damon is probably the actual murderer because from her blacking out, he's placing her prints on all over the place so that Lana it can be used as a blackmailed person.
No, I mean, like oh Jesus, right? Like Edgeworth blacked out and thought he murdered his dad. What's his name? Meekins blacked out and thought he murdered the other guy.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Emma blacked out. Now we're gonna be like she murdered him. Oh, it seems the prints are too old. They aren't clear enough to get a map. And then Gumshoe's gonna open his mouth real quick.
Yeah. Oh, that's too bad. I thought they'd be Dark's prints.
Psst, hey, you, over there. Over here. What's going on here? Why are the kids' prints doing inside the chief's safe?
Don't ask me. Let's just keep this information from Emma for now.
Here, maybe you should hold on to this. Man. He's such a bro. He's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got a harder goal. But I mean, like, could use a couple other things too. This is a long section.
Yeah, it is.
That desk on the other side of your room, was that your sister's?
Yes, that was that's where I was waiting for Lana. On that day 2 years ago.
Is anyone using it now?
No, sir. This is entirely Chief Gant's office now.
Wow.
He practices a strict policy of preserving the crime scene.
That's a strange reason to leave it there.
It is.
He leaves it as a warning to everyone else. He wants us to always be alert.
That's suspicious as fuck.
Yes, it is.
He told us so himself at our New Year's party.
That's
Maybe he's a psychopath, and preserving the evidence is entertaining to him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Something like that.
I feel like that would be the case.
Of course, he was pretty intoxicated at the time.
Oh, Jesus, come on, man. I think you're interpreting this way too generously, my man. I see.
So ever since Lana left, no one ever touches that desk.
No one except Chief Gant, and and the cleaning lady who is in here each morning.
Cleaning lady. Still, 2 years have passed since that incident, and that floor has never been properly mopped. Pretty whack, if you ask me. There can't possibly be any clues remaining.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
You only came here to look around, right? Because it's one of the SL-9 crime scenes. I mean, that's your only reason for coming here, isn't it?
Why do you ask?
You don't think. Nah, you wouldn't be. No, there's no way. Never mind. Don't worry about it.
Okay, now, okay. Now then, let's look around a bit more.
Hey, hold on. Not so fast, buddy.
Huh? What is it?
When someone tells you don't worry about it, it's supposed to stop bothering you, pal.
I suppose
You don't
that's
just
how you're
let
a
it go
detective.
at that.
So sorry. This guy's starting to get on my nerves. Okay, so what's bothering you?
You two don't think. Period. Sorry. You two don't think Chief Gant might be a suspect, do you?
What? He's right, Mr. Wright. What do you think of him? He looks like a demon, and he looks like a fucking murderer.
Chief Gant. So it's finally come to this. What do I think of him? Oh god. Chief Gant is so huge he could probably beat up Gumshoe pretty easy. Like Gumshoe's like, I'll hold him back, and he just goes beat like
Yeah, it's almost like that
That's
red
the
white
most
guy.
feelings, yeah.
Leave Jiren to me.
Yeah.
There you go, ignoring me again. Well, was I any help?
Of course. Thanks to your ID card, we were able to get some hard evidence. Oh shit!
Ooh, this is Gant for sure.
Now, that's not very kind, is it? In other words, if it wasn't for his ID card, he would have been useless. 354 from 3 bitches came into my office thumb, or some shit like that. Isn't that bullshit?
Chief Gant.
In the flesh. We didn't think you would be
You'd
back
be
so
back so soon.
Fortunately, I'm a man who believes in signs. As I was walking to my meeting, I happened to look out a window and saw a stray dog run right into a pool. Then, just as I thought of a certain detective,
Do you mean me, sir?
now,
Kind of a weird
I'm
thing
afraid
to see.
I'm going to have to ask you all to leave.
Well, I mean, he did police dogs, right?
I don't remember the last time I saw a dog run into a pole, but yeah.
That's true. Yeah, yes, sir. Sorry.
Oh, you in the coat.
Me, sir?
Drop off your ID card out in the way. You won't be needing it anymore.
But sir,
Now get out.
yes, sir.
We'll be on our way too then.
Wait, you, the one without the spiky hair. Don't go yet.
Me, sir?
I'd
I
like
like
a
wo-
word with you,
Wow.
a hat in time girl.
You
You
with the
would-
spiky hair. Sorry, go.
You with the spiky hair, you're free to go.
Mr. Wright! No!
Why did she like just fucking?
It's more blackmail.
Look, pal.
She could
I
have just
took-
left if she wanted to, probably.
Look,
Intim-
pal.
Yeah, go for it.
I've told you once, I've told you 1,000 times. The chief's office is off limits. But no, you just had to go sneaking in there like that, didn't you?
I thought you said you didn't care anymore if you were fired.
Yeah, but if I knew it'd be like this. I never would have said it.
Now that I've seen the evidence Chief Gant was hiding in his office, I think I'm finally starting to get the picture. But why has she kept eerily silent about it all this time?
Anyway, you listening to me?
No.
I'm gonna try to smooth things over with the chief again. Later, pal.
It's not a good idea.
After that, I heard from Emma. She said the police wanted to ask her some questions. So she'll be busy for the rest of the day. This is bad. Lana,
Yep.
you need to start coughing up the real deal, the real story, real quick. Lady.
Yep. I see. So the chief asked Emma to come in for questioning.
It's no use thinking about it. Tomorrow's the final day in court. I'm committed to doing everything I can to defend you, which is why I'm here.
But I've already told you all I can.
What you've told me over these past couple days has been nearly useless. It's absolutely nothing. Not a single use. Oh, I double got it. Not a single useful thing.
Really? I believe I did mention something quite important. Something I told you right at the beginning. I said that I was the one who stabbed Detective Goodman.
You know, I think I finally figured it out. I know who it is that's lurking behind your words.
Mia did a good job mentoring you. I'm rather jealous. Seems Edgeworth was right. Edgeworth? It's so cold right now. Once you're convinced you know something, no one can persuade you otherwise. Thick-headed is the term he used, I believe.
Now's my chance to get her to tell me the rest of the story.
Oh wait, Lana's my voice. Sorry,
That's okay.
I zoned out.
I have to
Okay.
admit, I was more than a little perplexed at first. You insisted you did it, yet there was no incriminating evidence.
Yeah, we'll finish this and then save it and, call it quits tonight.
Hmm.
That's when it hit me. It's not that you're unwilling to tell the truth. It's that you're incapable of doing so because of a certain individual.
What an intriguing notion. A certain individual, you say? So you think I'm protecting this person?
Protecting? No, I think afraid of is more like it. If I'm not mistaken, the person in question may have persuaded you to silence.
For argument's sake, Mr. Wright, whom may I ask is this person you're speaking of? The one I am supposedly so frightened of. What is this person's name? Meekins.
Well, this guy.
Mr. Wright, you are addressing the chief prosecutor. Do not forget your place.
I take it she's still not ready to spill the beans.
My apologies. Could you please tell me a bit more about what you think you know? We were partners until 2 years ago.
You can tell that it's coming to an end because it's just like, hey, it's hammering into this conclusion now.
Yeah. I respected him as a detective.
I mean,
And
we already.
also, this lady says, Chief Prosecutor, know your place. Well, I guess it's a good thing I'm not a prosecutor, aren't I? I'm a defense attorney.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? Fire me? Assuming he is respectable, then tell me something. Sure.
Sorry.
Why would he try to hide his crimes?
His crimes?
Her voice aggravates me so much.
Hmm.
I mean, her as in Ethan's, like, man, stuff like that.
You mean
Manly
just
voice.
monotone?
Well, I mean, like, the fact that it's like, I don't know, everything about it, yeah. Like, I think he's getting it right, like, that's the right way to do it, but I mean, it's like, yeah, super definitely, like, hiding something as fuck.
Yeah. I was like, you were just like, man, I really hate her voice. I was like, hey, that's my voice doing her voice.
Yeah, I know, but I mean, like, just the way she kind of has that, like, fake surprise and everything like that.
Yeah. Of course, these are serious offenses.
Why is it, though, that Chief Gant's name was never mentioned?
Chief Gant.
Edgeworth didn't know the truth behind the forgery. The only party who could have possibly tampered with the evidence was...
Me. I had access because I was second in command of that investigation.
Yes, you, but also one other. Damon Gant.
If you intend to accuse Chief Gant, you'll need more than just words. Show me proof of that. Chief Gant falsified evidence in the case.
I just found this in the safe in the chief's office. This star piece and this piece of cloth.
Why are you whispering now?
Because there's a police officer there and I assume there's corruption. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence. And also, we weren't supposed to be in that office anyway. Stealing
It's
shit.
true. It's true.
But that'd be fine to bring up in court. Do you know what these are? They're pieces of evidence from the SL9 incident.
I.
The person concealing evidence was none other than Chief Gant himself. Now tell me, why are you taking all the blame for him? To protect Emma.
Touché, Mr. Wright. It's as you surmised. I cannot disobey the chief's orders. Even if it means being found guilty for murder.
Why not?
Come now, Mr. Wright. You can't possibly expect me to be able to tell you that. 3 days ago, I had no choice but to cooperate.
In the murder of Detective Goodman?
Or perhaps I should say, follow orders. Yes, that's more accurate than cooperate. Although I can't tell you the details, I can say I was given an order that day. I need you to dispose of Bruce Goodman's body. You'll find it inside the trunk of Miles Edgeworth's car.
Just as I suspected, despite what everyone believes, you were not the one who murdered Detective Goodman.
Correct. I was trying to take the body out of Edgeworth's car. The trunk's lock was broken, and I discovered that murder weapon while inspecting the body.
Murder weapon? You mean Edgeworth's knife?
No. When I found the body, this was the knife stuck in it.
The knife from the SL9 incident.
I couldn't just leave that knife in him. So I took it out and stabbed him with another knife.
That would be Edgeworth's knife?
That's right. Even though he was already dead, my hands were shaking at the thought of stabbing him. That's why I ended up cutting my hand.
And that's the reason for the bandage on your hand, right?
Yes, it seems that I got blood on the victim's shoes as well. And then she saw me just as I plunged the knife in.
Miss Starr, huh? Why did you need to hide Dark's knife so badly?
It took a lot of work to finally close the Dark case 2 years ago. It was over with. I didn't ever want it to be opened again. My intent was to prevent that by whatever means possible.
So you hid Dark's knife?
The weapon used to stab the detective was evidence in the Joe Dark case. If word got out, which it would, the reporters would have a field day with that.
So you wrapped the knife in your scarf and hid it in Edgeworth's exhaust pipe.
Right. Then I called my sister to tell her what happened and to ask her to hide the knife that was inside the mine muffler.
You asked Emma?
I didn't want anyone on this force to know about this.
That would explain why Emma is so confident about Lana's innocence.
Speaking of phone calls, I had a bad feeling about one
A bad
of them
feeling.
that day. The truth is, after I received those orders from Chief Gant, the first thing I did was make a phone call. A phone call to Patrolman Jake Marshall.
To Marshall? Why on earth would you call him? I'm just like literally getting the whole story now.
The lead investigator for the SL-9 incident had been murdered. I wanted that fact to be kept hidden, and I needed help. He was the only other person I could trust. Or at least, I thought I could trust him at the time. However, it seems that after I spoke to him, he went off on an escapade of his own.
Oh, you mean
Not wanting the case to die, he decided to take things into his own hands.
cowboy that he is. He disguised himself as Detective Goodman and tried to steal the evidence. He had already stolen the ID card, but it seems he still hadn't made up his mind to break into the evidence room.
After my phone call, any remaining doubts he had must have disappeared.
So your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room. No, so your phone call caused the incident in the evidence room.
Yeah. I'm afraid that's all I can tell you.
But Lana,
You've earned my respect, Mr. Wright, both as a defense attorney and as an investigator. Now please, don't pursue this any further in court tomorrow.
tomorrow's trial. There's only one way to drive off Lana's demons. And we're absolutely gonna pursue this further in court tomorrow.
Got
Yep.
to get to the bottom of everything.
Yep. Turns out
The real murderer.
was Emma Scott. No kidding. The real murder weapon?
What went down in the chief's office 2 years ago?
The one that was actually the murder weapon too. Dude, that guy's Neil Marshall's
It's
death
gonna
was
be good
actually
finally nabbing this weird green-eyed looking ass.
Green-eyed. Wait, isn't there a green-eyed monster? Is what they call envy or something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I mean, like, Damon Gant has like weird green turquoise fucking eyeballs that seem like just out of place.
Oh, the green-eyed monster is jealousy personified.
Oh, okay. Well, he's definitely not jealous. He's more like wrath.
He's a psychopath, is what he is.
It's more like ambition.
Oh yeah, that's too. Could be that. Lust. A form of lust. Or greed. Greed.
I would say ambition's probably like a form of greed almost. Or pride.
Yeah, greed or pride. One of those two. Damn. That was actually good. I like it. I love it. I
Yep.
love this game. Yeah, fuck. It's so good. And the trial is like
what are we gonna
split.
play next week? Is it gonna be this or is it gonna be Back for Blood?
We can try Back for Blood. I don't mind that. If
Yeah,
we
I
can
don't
get Seth's computer functioning.
Right.
Yeah, that's the one thing we gotta do.
Either one would be fine. I think sure we could try out Back for Blood as like a small break from this or do the actual trial because this I think is the last trial, so we could just like
Yeah.
get it finished up, right?
Yeah, it's the last trial. It has 8 parts.
Okay, so this is the last part. The last part. I think we'll see how we feel next week about it.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, I am going to end it here and close it off. Bye bye.
See you.